20th Century Dude channel. Today I'm doing another pickups video of stuff I picked up after the past, I'd say 2 months possibly. It's basically, I'd say mostly VHS on the selection, but there are a few DVDs in here as well, so uh, basically not as much variety this time as far as like formats are concerned, but I'd say there's a good handful. And again, I wanted to keep this under a relatively minimal budget, considering the hundreds of dollars in school loans I have to pay per month, and the fact that I don't make as much as maybe I should in the bank. So I tend to not splurge like I used to. So it does appear very minimal, but that's sort of my intention at this point. So now on for a break. Typically, this is the point in most YouTube videos where they have a sponsorship or I would say a mini commercial put in there, but since 20th Century Dude doesn't have sponsors, at least at this very moment, we're just going to do our own brief little interjection. I would say a public service announcement, and it's just a word of advice. When you sell things to people, please don't sell them stuff that's broken. Please. This here is a John Wayne movie called The Sons of Katie Elder, which I attempted to watch, but very unsuccessfully. If you could see the inside, the tape wheel in here, you could actually see it's a little cracked. There is mold forming in this, and if we go over here to the right, if you can sort of tell, the tape is a little, it's losing like control of the wheel, and this was part of a larger set, so unfortunately I have to use this now as a display item with my Terminator movie here. For whatever reason, they recorded in EP mode. I don't know why. It's kind of jarring, but whatever, I guess. But I guess getting back to the point, please don't sell people broken stuff. It's just rude. I know I didn't pay much for the John Wayne set, but like still, I mean, I don't know why you'd sell things to people that has like mold in it, but yeah, whatever, I guess. And yeah, moral of the story is don't sell something that's broken, please, because people like me will eventually come find it and then accidentally spend money on it and not realize what the condition is. So just be careful, please. So I suppose we'll start with DVDs, since there's only, I think, like 2 of them to show off. The rest is VHS. So I think a good one to start out with would be the movie Shane. I don't know if any of you remember this Western from the 1950s with Alan Ladd in it. I have this on CED as well. Shane's not my favorite movie, favorite Western movie of all time, but I think it's alright. If you watch the movie Logan, like some of the like themes in there sort of like they come back to play in that movie, which, I mean, if you watch this and then you watch Logan, you can see where James Mangold obviously takes influence from. It does actually play in the Logan Wolverine movie. So, again, this isn't my favorite Western, but I think it's alright. It was enough to pick it up on DVD. And up next we have The Matrix Reloaded, widescreen edition, because as you might remember, I had already picked this up before, and that was the full screen edition, but now I have the widescreen edition. I think this is going to be the one I keep. I mean, typically, if I wanted a full screen, I guess I'd just put in a tape, to be quite honest, because most tapes are full screen. But I did really want a widescreen. I wanted to replace this for the longest time, so now I have the ability to do so. And yes, I think we all know the Matrix sequels aren't as good as the original movie. I think they do get progressively worse as they go on. I think this was the time they actually did release Reloaded and Revolutions like back to back in the same year. I think this is like winter time, and I think Revolutions was, I want to say, November or December of 2003. So It's not something we really get that much anymore. Have, you know, two movies of the same franchise, and, you know, unless it's DC or Marvel or something, two movies of the same franchise released in the same year. Um, you'll also notice there's a disc one from the movie, and then a disc two for bonus features. And this was back, of course, when movies did a lot of bonus features. They actually took the time. There'd be, you know, even a bonus disc in this case of just hours of extra footage going into great detail on how they made the movie and sometimes the whole pre-production process. A lot of them even have, you know, commentaries, interactive storyboards, special effects. They really went into great detail. As compared to what they do now, I'm going to use Dune 2 as an example because I just had that on the TV. Good movie, but it says it contains like an hour of bonus features. But it's really just like an hour of, you know, featurettes and stuff you really have already seen on the internet for the most part. So uh, they don't take the time to make bonus features and stuff like that the way they used to. Right? I don't even get like a director's commentary or like a commentary from Hans Zimmer who did the score. I don't get any of that in this movie, which is a shame. They don't take the time to do bonus features the way they used to. Um, I don't know, is it just that studios don't care much about physical media anymore, which is quite obvious nowadays, but yeah, here we are. Alright, next up we have on the list, before we get to the good stuff, we have the first X-Men movie from, I want to say it's 2000, I think? Yeah, 2000. This precedes even, you know, Spider-Man and Hulk, Daredevil, all the other pre-MCU movies. This was before all of that, and get some bonus features. And there were plenty of, you know, those 2000s and 90s trailers on there that I've honestly really grown nostalgic for. Or maybe it's just what I was used to in an early age. You know, put the DVD or the tape in. There'd be all these movies that, you know, would have released at that time, but yeah. So this is the first one, and I want to believe the second one's on tape too. So I'll find that one eventually. So you might ask, since I already have you know, this on DVD, why do you really need a VHS anyway? My answer would be, why not? I mean, the more ways you have, the more ways you can watch it. I think the better. And then honestly, it's more an excuse not to stream something, right? If I own something like this on DVD and VHS, why would I need to stream it, right? Why would I need to load up like Voodoo to rent the movie or Disney Plus or something just to watch the movie when I already had this on a disc or a tape or a cartridge, as that, you know, Cartridgevision was back in the 70s. I don't see the reason to, right? Why would you stream a movie if you have it, if you own it, if it's physically here? I don't see the reason to. And up next we have the Sylvester Stallone action movie, Cliffhanger. I've never seen this before. This was actually brand new. I took it out of the shrink wrap. I mean, you can't tell now because it's out. But it is new. It is brand new. So it's never been played before. And I've never watched it before. So I'll have to let you guys know how that turns out. Although, to be fair, I've said that pretty much about every other movie that I've said. I've never seen this before. But then I'll let you know. And then I never let you know. Promises made but not kept, I guess, in that case. So we got a really good star-studded cast. So we get a really good star-studded cast. We got, you know, Stallone, John Lithgow, Michael Rooker, Paul Winfield. So we got a whole bunch of people in this. Looks like it's directed and produced by Rennie Harlan, who directed Die Hard 2, otherwise known as Die Harder. So yeah, I can't wait to check this out. Kind of wanted to do, since I have a projector and a screen that I can use outside, I kind of wanted to do like a 80s and 90s action movie, like double feature night or something, a couple times. Like, so I can have like 80s action movie like Predator or Terminator, or and then go into, you know, maybe something like Cliffhanger. So I think that'd be kind of nice. And up next we have Saturday Night Fever on VHS tape. And this is actually the first time I've like owned this on anything. I don't have a DVD or a Laserdisc or anything of this movie. I mean, I've seen it before, but I've never like owned it for myself in any way. So this is why I decided to pick it up. So I the soundtrack anyway. I have it on, what was it, vinyl, CD. CD was the first copy I got of it, and I have it on 8-track. I've not listened to it on 8-track yet, the soundtrack for this movie. So I'll have to get listening to that. And there are a few songs in the movie I believe are not included on the soundtrack. There's a little bit of a difference, but yeah. So if you want a 70s disco movie, then there you go. Watch Saturday Night Fever. I believe it is one of the most popular movies of 1977. 1977 was filled with a whole bunch of good stuff. It's Smokey and the Bandit, the Woody Allen movie Annie Hall, which I've never seen. Of course, first Star Wars, probably one of the biggest movies of the 1970s. Saturday Night Fever, of course. I believe this is a cult classic. I believe this is when the David Lynch movie Eraserhead also came out. I believe it was also that year. So, yeah, 1977 was filled with a whole bunch of good stuff. So, yeah, I would encourage you to watch Saturday Night Fever if you have not yet. All right, now we're going to interject here with some last minute footage. This tape set sort of came in later than when the rest of the video was shot, so I decided to just wait a little bit and then include these. So they are pretty last minute. We have here the Mission Impossible 2-tape collector set. So this features the first movie and then the second movie. I know second one is not very popular. It has little to no fans at all, probably because, well, it's not the greatest. It's really not the greatest. The first one is a personal favorite of mine. This is my favorite of the franchise. A lot of people usually pick Fallout as their favorite, and I can kind of understand that. And Fallout's my second favorite as well, but I'd say a personal favorite, it's the first one for sure. So it's funny, we have here the best and the least best of the series. Oh, and there's an 8th movie coming out this May, so make sure to check out the Final Reckoning. Although I guess they're not calling it Dead Reckoning Part 2 anymore, just to add some confusion. So let's take a look at this tape set. So I actually did not mean to get this tape set right now. I mean, I probably was at a later point because I, saw the box, I saw the cover of it. It's like, ooh, that's, something I gotta get eventually. And I sort of picked it now as far as a cheaper option I can add to the lot, because what I was mainly going after was this. This is a battery for my old cell phone. I have two. I have my iPhone that I use all the time, and then I have my old Android phone that, honestly, I'd say has pretty much been converted into an iPod, because that's pretty much all I use it for is music. Maybe sometimes email, but for the most part, music. I don't really like how Apple Music does things, so I try not to use it if I don't have to. That's why I mostly held on to my old phone, but it's 8 years old, so it's been getting kind of crummy lately, so I went and got a spare battery for it. Luckily, it was only $10. Like the set all in all, so I paid $20 for about the 2 of these. I'm using the old battery as an example. The new ones, of course, in my phone right now. I just plugged it in this afternoon. I'm honestly surprised both of these came on time when they did, because knowing the postal service, I was half expecting it to be lost. Not that that hasn't happened before, but anyway. I got this battery here because the phone kept shutting off and crashing, and then every time I opened it back up, it'd be like 30% less battery than what it was when I used it 5 minutes before. Even unplugging it for like 0.2 seconds, like it made it panic. So that's when I decided maybe it'd be good to give it a spare battery. I honestly thought this would last at least a couple months. And while it's doing good on the battery power front, it's still not great with the crashing. I feel like, considering how old of a phone it is, that Perhaps it's time just to get one of those, like, digital Walkmans or something that they have now. That means I'm going to be spending hundreds of dollars on it. I really do not want to be spending hundreds of dollars on it. I just want to listen to my music after all, though I'm sure some of you will be like in the comments, just use your Apple Music, just get over it. And maybe I will by then, but yeah, I'm also hoping this new battery even lasts my phone about the next week. I'd hope so anyway, but sticky situations I get myself in apparently. But on to the tapes, because that's what you are here for. You're not here to listen to me blabber about the phone. So we have here the second movie and the first movie. So here's the first one. I'm sure you've probably seen this at plenty of yard sales, flea markets, and antique stores probably. And I've actually seen both of these too. And you might be asking, well, if you saw these both already at antique stores and whatnot, why didn't you get it then? It's simple. I saw this box set on eBay last year. I didn't get it at the time. I wanted to wait until something came up eventually, and I wanted to get them then. And now I have them. And what's nice about the second one is apparently it's a Paramount Pictures special edition set. We have over 45 minutes of bonus features available for the first time on VHS. Nifty. Including all those, I'm guessing, nostalgic 2000s trailers on there that I probably would remember as a kid, putting in those old DVDs or VHS, and there'd be movies that released at the time to video or in theaters, but it's something I'm a little nostalgic for. Movie trailers or previews on physical media from that time. And hey, what's nice is they're rewound, so thankfully I didn't have to get to the guy on eBay and be like, hey, why didn't you rewind these? Little known fact, I actually did have these two tapes, not in this box set, but I did have them at one point, and when I got what was at the time all the movies, which is the first one up into Fallout, on Blu-ray, I decided to get rid of them. That was before my reigniting of VHS interest, I guess, so to speak, during the pandemic, where I started to get interested in VHS once again and started collecting tapes once again. But several years before, I'd gotten rid of those, and I'm kicking myself for doing that. But hey, at least I got this nice box set to go in their place now. As far as Mission Impossible 3 goes, no, there is not a VHS set for that. Not that I know of. Otherwise, I probably would have seen something. And even if there was, it would be probably, I'm assuming, very rare. I have seen HD DVD copies of Mission Impossible 3, but, I mean, it's Mission Impossible 3. It's not exactly my favorite in the franchise anyway, and I'm not a big J.J. Abrams guy, because my opinion of him is definitely soured in later years as my taste and knowledge of film has expanded. I would go as far as to call him a talentless hack. But yeah, so I'd say Mission Impossible 3. I mean, if 2 is the worst one of the franchise, 3 is maybe, I think, second worst. It probably has more fans than what the second movie does, and for whatever reason, it's my uncle's favorite. I don't know why, but it is. But I feel like Mission Impossible 3 is also one of the ones Dad has probably seen the most. At least I've caught him falling asleep on their recliner on the TV the most, compared to some of the other films in the franchise. But yeah, this is a little last-minute edition, and I got it now, and so far I'm loving it. So we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled programming. And now we're going to move on to some really good stuff. These were, I would say, some pretty lucky finds. This box set here, you would think it has multiple movies in it. It actually does not. It actually has one James Bond movie in here, Tomorrow Never Dies. But this was a very nice box set I found at my local Goodwill, and when I saw it, I think it was only like $5 or something. I was like, I gotta have it. This is impressive. Um, yeah, so this tape has the movie itself. I mean, obviously, it's not Brosnan's best one. Goldeye's the best one. This is the second best, I think. I think his filmography, as far as Bond goes, it descends in quality a little bit. You get to his last one, it's like, yikes. But this is, I think, pretty good. It's all right. Michelle Yeoh was a Bond girl back then too. Before I think she went big. Also in here we have, it looks like a documentary, an hour-long documentary called Highly Classified: The World of 007. Go behind the scenes and experience the adrenaline rush of 007. Hosted by Desmond, I can never pronounce his last name, Llewellyn? I'm not going to bother try. He played Q in most of the Bond movies. And he narrates all the behind-the-scenes stuff that has, stunts, action sequences. They go in depth about the BMW and Tomorrow Never Dies, because this is when it would have came out, I think. It says 1998, I think, for this tape. So, yeah, it would have been around the same time. I don't know if this tape was ever played, because it looked pretty good on the TV. It looked like it was barely used. This whole set looks barely used either, so it makes me wonder whoever owned this, if they really just ever used it at all. While I was also at Goodwill, there were 2 stacks of James Bond movies. There was like at least a little over a dozen, I would say, in these stacks, ranging from Moore and Dalton and, of course, Connery and stuff like that. I would have picked it up because most of the ones in the stack were ones I don't already have, but for myself anyway. I mean, my dad has most of the Bond movies on Blu-ray, but as far as what I have for myself, I think I have You Only Live Twice on Laserdisc, From Russia with Love on CED, and then Goldfinger and Diamonds Are Forever on tape. So a lot of the Connery ones I have for myself, but not a whole ton. And this here I was also surprised to see, and it's signed by Pierce Brosnan, it seems. It's the United Artists Tomorrow Never Dies final shooting script, dated August 18th, 1997, for the movie. So this is actually what we would call the final draft, and I gotta bend it back a little. I don't want to break the binding, but this is what they actually used in the movie. I'm sure it probably includes deleted scenes and whatnot, as well as other possible inserts. But yeah, it's nice. You get to read the script that the movie was, shot from. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff in here. I'm just curious, is there anything that... This is just a box, I guess. This is kind of it. What's this? Oh, this must be like a sweepstakes or something they must have had in the box back in the day. Obviously, nobody bothered to mail that in. What else? What's this? Her Majesty's Secret Service hereby certifies as Tomorrow Never Dies limited edition with the following classified code. Ooh, that's cool. I guess that's all that is. I don't know what else that would be. And looks like there's some set pictures. I didn't take a look at these. Some behind the scenes stuff, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, this, for $5, I would consider this to be more than a steal. This is I shouldn't say opportunity of a lifetime, but it's definitely this is impressive. I don't know how you wouldn't be impressed by all this. This is the kind of attention I wish they would put on movies, especially even big special releases or something like that. But like I said with the bonus features earlier, they unfortunately don't tend to do that anymore. Even with one of them 4K steelbooks, I wouldn't anticipate they would have the shooting script in as the bonus features. So, oh well, it is what it is. I'd say pretty nice box set, regardless. Oh, well, I would have picked up the other Bond movies. I figured for budget reasons, and of course, I don't feel like this closes the whole way either. I have a little trouble with it. That's because I accidentally sat down the pictures. No wonder it didn't go in. There we go. Probably should put the tapes in first before I get all the extra stuff out. As I was saying anyway, I would have picked up the other Bond movies, but I think for a budget reason, would have put me like $30, pay for a whole bunch of tapes, and also going to consider room, because even with my recent selection, I gotta be careful what I bring in, but just you gotta think about space. And last but not least for our selection today, I got honestly really scared when I got this. I paid $30 for this special set because it's actually never left the VHS format. I got really scared at first because when I put it home in my player, I thought it didn't work, so I went and paid $30 for this thing that didn't even function properly, which I was really worried about at first. But it turns out that actually wasn't the case, which I'm thankful for. So, because what happened was, and I put the tapes in, all three of them did this. They would play for like 10 to 15 seconds and then stop. You'd press play again, and they'd stop. It just really was like, oh crap! Did I break this thing almost, or was this thing sold to me broken? But after further examination, it actually turns out that it wasn't the set I got, so thankfully I don't have to return it. It was actually my VCR, so now I gotta... Apparently I need to clean my playheads more often, but I also need to keep a closer eye on it, apparently. This is the Godfather Complete Epic, 1902 to 1959. And what this consisted of, this was the first two movies slapped together. This was put in linear order, because I think if you've seen Godfather 2, it goes back and forth between the rise of Vito Corleone, Michael's father, and it's Michael Corleone at the peak of his power, and when he starts to become more and more corrupt. And they put all that in linear timeline order, so it does all the flashback stuff first, and then leads into the first movie, and then the rest of the second movie. But there's also, apparently, I forgot about this, deleted scenes in here that weren't part of the original movies. And what this was actually used for, I'll take it out here. This was actually used as part of I think it was a 6-hour television event down back in, I want to say it was the late 70s or early 80s, around that time frame. And for the TV version, which I don't know if anybody will actually find, there's shots missing where some of the roughest violence happens in the movie, and or some scenes or shots were taken out entirely where there was violence, because censorship standards were different back then. But this, I believe, restores all of that in its normal form. And in this set, we have the complete Epic booklet. And for the set, it goes a little bit behind the scenes. It's more of a written behind the scenes, but it's a different kind of bonus feature, I suppose. Again, this is the kind of stuff I really wish they'd include more with movies, and maybe more people would buy physical media, I would think, but that's just me. So we have here the 3 tapes. I believe it's about 2 to 2.5 hours per tape. I would have said per side, but that'd be the wrong format. Let me see here. So tape 1, I believe, starts with all the flashback stuff, and then begins Godfather 1, and then, come on, there we go. Where's that? Tape 2, Godfather, yep, tape 2. That goes from the first movie. I believe it's just the first movie. The rest of it, although I only tested like 5-ish, 10-ish minutes for each tape. So, and this I believe is also the second movie, the stuff with Michael Corleone. Yeah, this was an impressive set. Uh, Budgetary reasons, maybe I shouldn't have spent $30 on just that, but I mean, hey, it's one of those things where you don't know whether or not you're going to come across that again. Again, yeah, you could easily pick this up on a DVD if there was a DVD. I saw a few Blu-rays on eBay, although I'm pretty sure they're bootlegs, and I've never gone on the bootleg before, and don't intend to yet, because a bootleg will either be really good, or you will be scammed very expensively. So, yeah, there's the W. Yep, there's some good stuff with these two. So, yep, I'd say that's some of the best stuff we've had today. So thank you for taking the time to watch this 20th Century Dude video. I hope you were impressed by some of my recent pickups. I think there's some good stuff in here for sure, and stay tuned in a couple months when we do this again, when I pick up probably a few more things. So stay tuned for that, and otherwise have a great rest of the day. See ya.